Sports Inquirer here with Coach Lanier from Georgia State basketball. We were just talking about two of your guys, Justin and Kane, getting all conference honors. Discuss those two and what that means for you and the program.
Yeah, I think Justin and Kane getting recognized by the league is a testament to their hard work and their development as players, particularly in Justin's case, having had to sit out for a year and the impact that he's made. And Kane's improvement, but I think it also speaks to the tremendous upside that those two have as players, because there's a lot of growth still yet to be had for both of them, just like the rest of our team. So we're excited about their futures and proud of what they've done, and looking forward to continuing to help them develop.
Yeah, you get both of them next year, hopefully, Lord willing. We'll talk about Kane, and you mentioned he was a big guide for you when you first got here as far as the transition goes. But just talk about his development, being the team's leading scorer and primary ball handler a lot of times as well, which you said was a different role than he had last year.
Yeah, Kane's experienced the most winning and has had the biggest role in this program of anyone. So earning his trust was a big goal of mine, because I think having his trust it'll be a good message for the rest of the team. It's a good starting point. And I think he and Dame both bought in pretty early, and I think that kind of circulated throughout the team, that we can move forward from a good place.
And then Justin as well had to sit out last year, transfer out of DePaul. It's about he was so itching to get back on the court, obviously sitting out a year. It's about his development, what he's done for the team and helping you get to this point.
Yeah, he's been a reliable player for us. Obviously he's got a long way to go yet, but you can count on him to give a certain level of effort and a certain level of production. And I think the biggest area of growth for him is just his grasp of the scope of the game from the point guard position, how to endear yourself to your teammates at a higher level. You always hear this phrase about a coach on the floor, and everyone talks about young people playing for their coach. Well, if a point guard is a coach on the floor, then you want to establish a dynamic where the players are playing for that coach on the floor. And that's something that I want he and Kane both to learn as competitors, because they both have the competitive spirit. They obviously have the talent and the skill, and now it's a matter of taking that intangible aspect of the game to another level.
Now you prepare for the conference tournament. You had about a week off, and you didn't know that you were playing Georgia Southern until last night. What did you just work on in the practice court just to after the Little Rock game, just getting ready for this upcoming stretch of games?
Well, first and foremost, we were able to get a little bit of rest. I think that was important, because the season is long and it's a grind. A 20-game conference season can be taxing, and the travel in our league is taxing as well. And so there's a lot of tough teams in our league, a lot of talent. So it was a grind. So the rest was important. And then we just got back to work, focusing on competing, number one. And then our principles, offensively and defensively, just getting back to work and focusing on ourselves, and knowing that we wouldn't know until last night who the opponent was going to be. And we were able to get right back to work today with a more narrowed focus on the things that are going to apply to Georgia Southern.
And how beneficial was it that you faced a team that you literally saw a week ago or a week and a half ago, as far as scouting, preparing for them? And you mentioned post-game, you were disappointed in the effort of the team, and I get that sentiment from some of the other guys as well. That was just a disappointing effort against Georgia Southern. When you look back on that game and scouting them for tomorrow, just what do you take it from that previous contest and try to bring it to this one?
The fact of the matter is they're a really good team. Mm-hmm. They're well coached, super athletic, talented, experienced, and they're a tough team that really, if you think about it, they've outplayed us for the majority of both contests, even though we played well at their place and put ourselves in a position to win and got the win. But they've presented us with some unique challenges in the way that they defend and their athleticism and length. So, but they came into the game with a business-like approach, And we came into the game like we were excited about the hype surrounding the game. And they came in and they took care of business. So we got to give them a lot of respect. And we're going to go into the game. A lot of times you go into these games and you're questioning whether or not the kids are mentally prepared. This would be my greatest disappointment if they ain't ready to compete in this one.
Yeah, and just as far as schematically, they were able to take advantage of it. They were able to get into the paint, do a lot of things there. What do you just anticipate you'll see from them, and as far as what challenges they're going to present to you?
Well, they had some really good defensive schemes that kept us off balance, so we expect to see more of those things. And in the first game, they changed the defense between zone and man-to-man a little bit more, and they didn't change defenses as much in the second game, but we anticipate and prepare that we will see some different looks. They just guarded us in man-to-man, and quite frankly, it was good enough. They didn't need to change up. They just kept doing what was working, and it carried them through the game, and they played with great confidence on offense.
Yeah, and they're able to get, I think, almost double the amount of points in the paint, and which doesn't happen too often with you guys. But just what was that like? Just trying to defend them. What did they just do so well?
Well, I think it started with their defense. They
Yeah.
got a lot of those points in the paint in transition because of either turnovers on our part or bad possessions that led to bad shots. And they're as good as anyone in the conference, if not the best, at transition converting. And you know, if you give those guys 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, they finish at the rim, lobs. I mean, they're really impressive athletically. And, you know, they've done me a favor because I'm saying, well, man, we got to get more athletic if we're going to compete in this league. And they're one of the teams that made that apparent to me as a coach.